You alright there?
Yes.
Sleep okay?
I slept like a rock. That's kind of a weird saying. I slept really, 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 really hard, and I didn't hear anything at all because I slept so hard until like right before George's alarm went off. I started hearing these crackly noises, and our deck is sort of crackly, so I was like, is someone walking on our boat? And George was like, no, it's just the wind. But it turns out there's like a whole bunch of like little sea creatures under our boat right now, pecking at whatever algae's growing on the bottom. So doing his favor, cleaning the bottom, but it's really weird, just little like crackly pop noises everywhere.
Ticking everywhere, all around the bottom of the boat. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, we made it to Hampton, Virginia. We're hanging out here in the marina. We got escorted in by some dolphins yesterday.
Yes, they escorted us. They put their dolphin luck on us, so we didn't have any engine struggles getting here, which is great because after we saw the dolphins and I was shrieking and screaming in happiness, there were like 7 or 8, and George Spoyer, he saw like a baby dolphin.
It was a mom and a baby that came up at the same time. It was awesome.
I don't know. I saw dolphins. I wish I saw the baby.
Yeah, it was adorable.
I'm glad I forgot about the fact that we had engine troubles because of the dolphins, since when we got in the marina, it was a little tight, it was pretty windy, and you can tell them about that.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty windy. It was definitely tight coming in, and the boat doesn't like to back up, and most slips that we end up in, we have to back up into them. Mm-hmm. And so, fortunately, the wind was sort of blowing us away from the slip, which is the most helpful it can be in this situation. But yesterday, it wasn't helpful at all. So we ended up just sort of jimmying our way all over the place, wandering all over the marina, trying to get straightened back up so that we could come back in. But eventually, we made it in, and it was just a little bit of a process. The guy was just standing there on the dock like, you all right? You guys doing okay? So, but it was good. It was very helpful.
We were.
Yeah.
But if the engine went out, it could have been a whole different debacle. We would
been.
have handled it. It just would have been a little less calm and quiet.
Yeah, not as much fun. So,
yeah.
But we are tied up to a marina so that we can do some laundry. As you can tell, it's hanging everywhere. That's just sort of how life goes. There's 2 big bags of it down here that we got to fold. Doing that, Kelly's got to catch up on some editing.
Yeah.
I've got to get to the engine and just check everything out again, make sure it's all good. We're pretty sure we've got it figured out, and we did some work to get it squared away. We got to make sure that that's definitely what the problem is.
And we talked to a diesel mechanic last night.
It's true.
Our bartender moonlights as a bartender at night and is a diesel mechanic by day.
Yeah. So Josh, if you watch this video, thank you very much for the advice. Appreciate it. We'll check it out and see what we got going on. But we've got a good bit of motoring we got to do over the next couple weeks, and we got to have an engine available just because solar's not up, so it's our one way of charging batteries and just all kinds of other things. So we got to make sure it's all squared away.
And our one way of propulsion, because we're not going to be able to sail in some of the areas.
Yep, that's true. So. Plus, Kelly needs her hot water for showers, and it's our one source of hot water as well. So
we didn't shower the other day because we didn't have hot water. It was freezing.
Yeah. Way too cold.
Well, right now it's not cold, but it's been cold. It's getting.
It's very windy right now.
A nice warm snap of 60 degrees.
Yeah, which is quite peaceful. But at this point, we're gonna go out for a run, grab a coffee, and explore the town, see what it's got to offer.
Yeah, this man does not have to drink instant coffee today.
Yep, that's my one opportunity. I might even get a cappuccino. Step it up. We'll see. So
that's what I'm getting. If they offer it, watch it's like some place that just has like a whole.
No, they got a whole.
Okay, I would say watch it's like a place with coffee pots and it's just like burnt coffee.
Yeah, they're a proper coffee establishment. So
cool.
Let's go do it.
All right.
Ready for a run?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Woo! Running is not my first choice of physical activity, but it's one that only requires a pair of shoes, yourself, and I guess an attitude to get out there. But I'm not gonna be someone who can just go and run, but it's totally worth it because then you get places faster, like this fort, up top of the fort right now, and you get to explore. So a little bit of run, walk, run, and then every once in a while sprint, because why not? Way there in the background you can see George because he runs laps around me, but it's so fun to get out together. This is cool.
Pretty views, right?
Yeah. I was just telling everyone how running is not my first choice at this point.
I'm terrible at it.
I just love you run laps around me. He's better at it than me. The point is, it just requires shoes, and we don't have space on board. And
It is a good way to get out and
yeah,
wander around, though.
he can go run laps back and forth while I jog, walk, do whatever.
Take your
But
time.
get to explore more territory.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have space for bikes. I would prefer bikes, but I don't think they're gonna let us ride bikes in this old fort. So, what was it that one sign said? It's the oldest,
The largest
largest
stone formation.
stone fort in the United States.
Yeah. It's definitely big.
Yeah.
The moat is awesome.
Oh, there's a moat down there.
I kind of want to walk down to the moat and see it, but
Not allowed.
no, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a moat. That was the thing George ran across.
Yeah, the bridge to the moat, across it, yeah. Kelly found a heart chain. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. Might as well.
I like this style. Brought a big smile on my face.
Yep. Fun stuff. I don't know what that is, but it's very cool looking.
Looks like a sea anemone.
It does look a little bit like an anemone.
Nemo's gonna come out.
They're kind of all over the floating docks around here, and they're really neat. Really pretty to look at. And then we have whatever this is.
Can't decide if it's man-made plastic trash or a creature.
Looks like it's a creature. We are taking full advantage of the fact that we are staying in a marina for a short period of time. I spent the afternoon cleaning the decks of the boat because of the fact that we were coming down the bay and it was real windy and real choppy, and there was just a cake of salt on everything. Salt water all over everything. The windshield of the enclosure back there was completely coated. Couldn't hardly see through it, so I got that all cleaned off. The boat's all back to looking nice and clean, which is great. And I am now finally also going and taking out the solar panels out of the boxes and getting those installed on the bimini tops. So we basically are going to have 4 different panels. We've got 2 big ones here, 1, 2 on the big bimini top, and then we'll have 2 small ones on the back ones there. And I'm really, really excited about getting the system installed, mostly because of the fact that I want to see how it actually works. What, you know, I've sized it, I've gone through, done a bunch of calculations to figure out, you know, how much power do we actually need, and I've kind of sized it to accommodate us being under sail, because of the fact that when we're under sail, the autopilot and electronics package is on. If we're sitting at anchor, we don't have that on, so we just got the fridge, water pump, the lights in the boat, different odds and ends of little small stuff like that. But when we're underway, we use a little bit more power because of the fact that the autopilot's running 24 hours a day, the electronics are on 24 hours a day, and that increases our power consumption. And I've sized it to, I believe, accommodate all that. And I'm really excited to find out if I actually got my calculations right or not. We might end up having to switch over to a different battery technology just because what we have might not be able to last long enough, but I think I've got it sized to where we'll be okay. And I want to get them installed. I won't be able to get the wiring done today, but I can at least get the panels installed, because that's the tougher part. I can do the wiring and everything else later on, but I'm going to get to it because I'm really, really excited about this system. And just like that, our panels are installed. We've got all 4 of them in. This is one of the installation methods that the company recommended. I got basically fender washers that are on the lower side, and then this side there's a rubber washer there that is supposed to seal out any sort of rain or anything else, and then a fender washer on top with a nut. I got a lock washer underneath there, and we've got 1 at each corner, and that's supposed to hold them in place. Now they're in. I just got to get the wiring run, get the controller installed, and then connect them into the batteries, and we're going to be creating electricity with the sun, which will be very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Hello, Captain.
Well, hi there. We had a little bit of an adventurous day trying to figure out where we're going to stop for the evening.
started out with, we were leaving the marina and we went to go fill up our diesel, and turned out the marina was out of diesel, so we got 1 gallon of diesel from them, and then we had to find someplace else to go to get topped off. So we found another place. It was actually along the way. That worked out great, so we were able to get topped off on our diesel, and then after we left there, it's been trying to figure out where we're going to stop for the night, because we're going to anchor out, and all the different sources of information we use to navigate all this stuff just aren't really clear on where there's a good spot. And I think we've found one, but we've got to go through a raising bridge. I think it's called a bascule bridge. No, it's not a bascule. Bascule, I think, is the ones that lifts like this. But it'll raise up, and we've just called them to ask if they can raise the bridge for us. They're going to do that in about 10 minutes, so we're just kind of sitting tight. And then we got to go down south, and a little ways down the way, there should be an anchorage. We'll find out, because we can't really go where we were planning to go, which is into the Dismal Swamp. There's a lock, and they only open it up, or they only pass through 4 times a day, so we can't go through the lock because we're past that point. We got to find some place to hang out for the night, and then we can go through in the morning. I don't know. We'll find out if we can actually find some place to sleep. If we can't go there, there were some spots way back up the way, but we got to backtrack quite a bit, and we're running out of daylight, so I'm hoping this works. We'll see. What do you think, first mate? It's not that dire.
I think you're making it sound really dire. It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine.
It's not like all the other stuff we've dealt with recently. It's like nothing. It's like peanuts, as the saying goes. It'll just be a little embarrassment when George has to call the guy who operates the bridge again to say, hello, just kidding, we want to turn around.
Gotta go back around the other way?
So, no biggie.
Yeah, we'll be alright. Yeah, we just gotta sit and wait. The name of the vessel is Curious George.
Roger that, thank you. Have a great weekend and a safe trip.
Thank you, appreciate the passage. You have a great time too. Made it through. Just barely. Just kidding. It's like 100 foot and we're 50 foot tall, so plenty clear.
Smells funny.
Yeah, like grease and lubricants and all.
Shortly after we got through the lift bridge yesterday, we found this anchorage. You can see it behind me. Doesn't look like much. It's just an area where the water's deep enough outside the channel, yet shallow enough for us to drop an anchor and get out of the way of traffic, because there is traffic. There's barges being moved by tugboats all night long. We also were underneath of a highway bridge all night, which we're about to go through. So it was a bit noisy, but it was convenient where it was located because it puts us in a good position for where we're going this morning.